The Putnam Library was built in 1974, so it's been around for over 40 years. It has served so many wonderful purposes during its time here, but the fact that we don't have air conditioning, the space, the sound levels, there's just a variety of different things that make it hard to really engage academically and interpersonally with people.
The space itself is cramped at times. It's difficult for students to find quiet places to study if they're looking to work quietly with themselves or with another student.
And all of those students need different levels of noise and different levels of privacy.
Right now the library is pretty much one giant space. If you speak anywhere currently in the library, you can basically hear it anywhere.
And the librarians really have to work creatively just to try to find spaces for all the materials and opportunities for research they're trying to create for students.
It was hard for teachers to utilize the space with their classrooms, and ultimately the library should be a place that's kind of the hub of the academic activity.
But really our campus has needed a place where we could start to explore different kinds of academic programs where teachers could work together differently, where students and teachers could come together in spaces that were larger and more flexible, and we really haven't had that on our campus.
About 5 years ago, after the castle project was done, we had a little bit of a lull in the building committee, so we started to think about things that maybe needed way down the road.
And as the campaign was going well, a number of us had asked ourselves, could we put the new project into the campaign? And it was a resounding yes.
Bob Henderson was huge on this process. We originally looked at building a new library and renovating the science building probably 3 or 4 years from now. And Bob Henderson saw the need and made it happen. His stamp is all over it.
And so with the generous giving of our donor constituents, this project not only happened, but happened much faster than it would have otherwise.
We're almost at the end of our fundraising goals, and the next couple of months we should be able to wrap it up. So it's been very exciting.
The new building obviously houses the Putnam Library, and that will be a big chunk of the first floor. And we have all sorts of different spaces for different kinds of studying.
We're going to have the quiet reading room where students can sit and work completely in silence.
It gives us that room to really free ourselves from any distractions and loud noise and be really productive when we need it. I know I've talked to a lot of my classmates as well, and they said that that was the most life-changing thing for them. They've been able to accomplish so much while they've been studying there.
The rest of the building provides much needed classroom space. We have several classrooms that are inadequate and we don't have enough classrooms, so we'll have 6 new classrooms.
What we're calling innovation classrooms, so classrooms that have furniture that can be moved around in different ways, that have walls that you can write on.
They're bigger and they're more flexible, and I think they're a really exciting opportunity to explore new ways of teaching and learning.
It's pretty crazy. I feel like I'm out of college when I'm in there. It's so big, and study rooms are really, really helpful.
We've also got some new spaces for teachers to work in teams and to have office spaces that are a little bit larger, a little more collaborative, and for us to try some different things. So these spaces are really going to open up our program in some neat ways.
What was interesting was the science building, because rarely have we or any other school ever renovated a 20-year-old building. You just don't do that. But because science is being taught so differently, that was the inflection point.
We wanted to have spaces that better reflected modern science pedagogy, that allowed for flexibility of instruction. We also wanted to alleviate some significant overcrowding issues. Our science enrollment soared in the last 20 years.
We now have kids that are taking multiple science classes at once. So the demand for the amount of people in this building increased. That's why we put the addition on. That's why we created those 2 larger classrooms.
Needed more specialized spaces for things like robotics, electronics design, biochemistry, larger physics workshop spaces.
Oftentimes research and design work doesn't fit neatly within the context of a 50-minute class period. So we wanted students to be able to come and go, so spaces that were dedicated.
So we decided to wrap the Baker renovation into the academic center project. For several reasons it made sense. You have one construction company here doing it all at once. Baker renovation is what we call a summer slammer, so you have a lot of work getting done in a really short period of time, which was a total gut renovation.
I have rarely seen a transformation of a building as powerful as this Baker Science Building renovation was. Everything from certainly the way the light now fills the space, to just the way the walls have come down and there's access and visibility into what's happening in our classrooms has completely changed. The level of enthusiasm, the ways that our students are approaching the building, and the opportunities it's given to the teachers.
What the building committee was most excited about in the Science Center was the energy to the students and the faculty for greater learning, and we hope that this facility will do just that.
And as we close the loop on our campus, and then when the old library comes down and the science building is really brought within the fold of our academic center, it's going to be a really exciting change as well.
So we're at a great moment now, but it will be even more exciting when the project is finished. And that means taking down the old library and then completing the landscape.
There's the Fargo Circle, the outdoor classroom, which is going to be moved into the new site, basically behind where the current library is now.
There's a natural amphitheater built into the rock behind the existing library that we're going to build a 750 square foot deck. It'll be an outdoor classroom, it'll be a meeting space.
That's the part of the story that me and some others are really getting excited about, is having that outdoor classroom, but also grading of that space out there for kids and faculty to enjoy that open space, and nearly tripling the size of the current beach.
Ultimately, this is about teaching and learning, and we now have taken another step forward to providing the most beneficial opportunities.
It's really cool to see, what started on a piece of paper and then all the hard work that goes into it, and then you walk into it and this building is absolutely beautiful, and to see the teachers get so excited about the space that they have, that's a joy I take out of it. The teachers, when they're like, this really transformed how I can teach, that affects you and that makes you like, okay, I did what I was supposed to do.
The Noble's mission statement is about inspiring leadership for the public good and also leading lives characterized by service to others. So for all of us who have been on the building committee or donors who have helped contribute to finance this, we're living the mission statement of Noble's.
The community's investment in Noble's and what we've become is just extraordinary. The community's investment in where we're heading is inspiring. And to have come into this project and realize how many people have believed in that vision, have committed resources, have invested time. It's really an incredible thing. It's something that really makes these projects possible. When I look ahead and think about the next 20, 30, 40 years of Noble's journey, it's because of these investments that we're able to actually think big, think bold, and look ahead in ways that are really exciting.
Gibran had a great quote. He says, "Those who give with joy have joy as their reward." So tonight, as we celebrate this, I hope everyone who's been a part of this at any level, volunteers, donors, faculty, students, every member of the building committee, clearly Steve Ginsberg and Mike McHugh, Bob Henderson, Cathy Hall, we should feel collectively a great joy that we've done something very special for Noble and Greenhouse School for now and the future.